All right, contractors, let's get into something real today. When is it the right time to start running ads for your business? I get this question all the time. Should I be running Facebook ads? Should I throw money at Instagram? Is Google the way to go? And my answer is simple. You don't have an ad problem. You have a content problem. In this video, I'm going to be talking about why running ads without content just won't work. The psychology of trust in contracting, what is branded content, when to run ads, and how to start posting strategically. In between all that, I'm sharing some perspective from Josh Valerio, who is a custom home builder and a general contractor in the Jersey Shore area, to talk about his strategy, his business, and a project he's working on right now that we're creating content for. So let's start with that, and then we'll continue with answering your questions about running ads. Today we just spent a day with Josh over at Estates by Valerio, and I'm going to be asking him some questions about his brand, his business, and let's see what he can give us. When did you realize building a brand was just as important as building a business?
I saw what the big guys were doing, the guys who I respect that are pumping out quality work, and they were all over social media, and you could tell that they focused a lot on that. And I said, all right, it's time for me to venture into that space and start doing what the big guys are doing, get my name out there more, because most of my business, almost all my business, is word of mouth. You know, people tell their family members, their friends, that they have a quality contractor or builder that is trustworthy and does really nice work. But I wanted to branch out beyond that and, really focus on spending more time and money on advertising.
How do you differentiate yourself from other builders and home renovators in a competitive market?
That's a good question. So, Instagram can be tricky. You have a lot of guys on social media, one in particular, that is throwing up videos and pictures of work that isn't their work. So it's all smoke and mirrors, and they have no idea what they're doing. I have always said it when I got into this business. The most important thing to me is quality and customer service. I choose quality and customer service over profit any day. And my customers truly feel that. There are plenty of times where I could change order somebody for something, and I don't. There are plenty of times where I throw in a ton of extra work because I think it's going to make the space better, and I don't charge people. At the end of the day, it's a business, and I have to make sure I make money, but I always put the customer experience well before profit.
All right, let's jump into the truth. You hit a slow season, you're looking for leads, you hear another contractor got 20 calls from Facebook ads, and now you're thinking, I need to do ads too. I get it. The idea is more visibility, more jobs. But here's the thing. Running ads without branded content is like putting rims on a car with no engine. It might look good for a second, but it's not going anywhere. Most people are not going to call you just because they saw your ad once. What they'll do is they'll click on your profile, they'll check out your Instagram, they'll Google your name, they'll watch all your videos or notice that you don't even have any videos. And that's where either it works or it doesn't. If your content doesn't match the ad, if your page has no presence, if there's no process, no proof, no personality, they won't bother calling you. Or even worse, they probably still will call you, but they won't trust you. And that's how you get bad leads. You'll get people who ghost you, lowball you, or just waste your time. When a homeowner sees your ads, they're not just thinking, do I want this patio? They're thinking, do I trust this contractor with my money and my home? And trust doesn't come from ads. Trust comes from content. It comes from watching you and your team actually installing something, from seeing you explain how a retaining wall works if you do exterior projects, from hearing you answer the real questions about the process, permits, etc. That's branded content, and it does 95% of the trust building before they ever hit the call button. So let's get real for a second. The real question is, do ads work? They only work if you build a foundation to your online presence. I'm not here to tell you that running Facebook, Instagram, or YouTube ads won't bring you leads, because the truth is they can, but here's what most contractors don't realize. If you skip the strategy and jump straight into ads, you will get leads, but at a much higher cost per lead. Why? Because there's no trust yet. There's no content yet. You're essentially a stranger showing up in someone's feed saying, hey, book me for your $25,000 hardscape project. But they've never seen your work. They've never heard your voice. They don't know your name. Think about that. Would you hire a complete stranger off of a random ad? No. And this is what happens. Your ad relevance score goes down. Your engagement drops. The platform realizes that people are skipping your ads, so now they charge you more just to show your ad to new people. You're paying over $100 per lead or more, and half of them might not even live in your service area. Compare that to someone who's posted consistently for 90 days. They've shown transformations. They've answered common questions. They're actually showing up in their own video. They've educated, entertained, and engaged with their audience. So when they run ads, they don't need to convince anyone. Their content already did the selling for them. Their cost per lead drops and their conversion rate goes up because people already feel like they know them. Ads will amplify what's already working. If your organic content sucks or doesn't exist, your ads are just turning up the volume on something that people aren't interested in. But that's enough about that. Let's continue to listen to what Josh Valerio has to say. How do you manage creating content and still running a full-time business?
So,
What were you doing before?
my friend Bill, and I'm sure he's going to watch this, he would, every time I posted a video, he would text me and say, stop shooting videos up your nostrils. So I would constantly be holding my iPhone X, which is, I don't know, 5-6 years old, however old that is, and walking and talking and shooting content on a dirty lensed camera. It was garbage. And that's how I managed it in the past. And people would make fun of me, stop shooting up your nose. And it's, when you're on the go, I'm constantly on the go. I'm constantly running from job site to job site, checking on my guys, checking on status, checking in with customers. I'm in the office, I'm in the field. It's insane what my days are like. So managing content was always an afterthought. I'd walk onto a job, I'd like, oh, that'd make a cool Instagram video. So I'd take the shot, and people would be looking up my nostrils the entire time.
I think I told you that the first day that I came over here. I was like, yeah, stop shooting up your nose, man.
You, my friend Bill, my friend Laura, you guys all make fun of me for shooting up my nose.
Last question, and then we'll wrap this up because we're about to pull up to what do you call this house, this project that you're working on?
The Inlet Project.
It's the what?
Inlet Project.
We're pulling up to the Inlet Project. Beautiful house. In one word, how would you describe this house?
Special. It's a special house. No expense was spared. There were no budget constraints. It was truly a special house. We did a lot of things that you don't even see. You see the millwork, you see the all of the nice finishes, you see all that stuff, but there's so much stuff that went into this house. Like the foundation sits on top of 96 or 97 25-foot deep piles, 3x3 concrete grade beams with rebar every 8 inches crisscrossed, 4 layers, and then you've got your 10 and 12 inch structural poured walls that sit on top of that with a 12-inch structural slab. This house is built like a parking garage to the foundation. You could literally dig out the dirt from underneath and the house would stay there and not move.
If you guys want to see more about this project, shoot over to Estates by Valerio. That's your Instagram page, because we're creating content, we're documenting it, and we're showing you everything behind the scenes about this project. There's contractors that post content, And then there's contractors that post branded content. Well, what is branded content? It's not just random job site photos. Branded content has to be and is intentional. It's the videos, photos, and captions that show who you are, what you do, and why they should choose you over every other contractor in your town. Some examples of this would be a video showing how you prep your site before a pour if you're doing exterior jobs, or maybe a time lapse of a full patio as you explain everything over a voiceover, a short form video answering the top 3 client questions you always get. You have to put yourself in your audience's shoes, and that's why these type of content are great for that type of audience. That's the branded content that positions you as a professional and not just a tradesperson. When should you actually start running ads? After you've got at least 20 to 30 pieces of branded content live on social media. When someone can click on your profile and instantly understand what kind of jobs you do, the quality of work you provide, or just the main person that's going to be in charge of the projects. Because now, when someone sees your ads and click, they're not just seeing an offer, they're seeing a business that they can trust. If you're ready to run ads, here's how I suggest doing it. Start with organic branded content. Film your 20 to 30 branded content first. Get the footage edited because you also want to make sure that this content is captivating. Post that content consistently because people need to see repetition. When you post consistently, especially branded content that shows your projects, your face, your process, your work ethic, you're feeding the algorithm data. Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube all have one goal: keep the users engaged. The more content that gets interactions, like likes, saves, shares, replies, the more the platform learns who to show your content to. Then what you're going to do is that you're going to retarget everyone that has shown interest into your content using ads. Run ads to people who've already seen your videos. These are your warmer leads. They're more likely to convert. Let me give you a contractor example. If you post a 30-second reel showing a driveway transformation and 10 local homeowners liked it, Instagram sees that and starts pushing your future content to people like them. Now, fast forward, imagine you've been posting for the past 60 days. You've built some trust. You've educated people on your process. You've shown the befores and afters. Now, when you run an ad, you're not advertising to a cold audience. You're retargeting people who've already engaged with your brand. The algorithm knows who actually cares. That's how your ad budget works smarter, not harder. But if you don't post at all and go straight into ads, the algorithm doesn't know who your audience is. It'll push your ad to random people and you'll likely get cheap, low quality leads or none at all. This is how you build brand equity that doesn't just get you views, but builds trust. So here's the takeaway. Don't pay for attention until you've earned it with content. Ads can work, but only if your brand is built. Start creating the kind of content that does the selling before someone ever clicks an ad. If you've been watching up to this point in the video and you haven't subscribed, please do so now. Hit the like button, hit the share button, send it to a contractor friend, and go get branded content for your business. I'm a brand strategist from New Jersey that helps contractors create branded content for their business. And if you need help creating branded content for your business, go ahead and send me an email. I'm going to leave all my information down below. And let me know what type of video or what type of content you need help creating or anything that has to do with social media. You can go ahead and leave it in the comments below and I'll make sure to touch on it in the next video.